Yetta, I'm really concerned.
About people's well-being?
Absolutely.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
Welcome to another episode of Life's Inside Track. I'm Yetta Dekker.
And I'm Ken Dekker.
And it's where we get to share techniques, thoughts, tips, tools, and tactics that we all need. We all deserve. You, I, everyone. So we can turn our house into home. Our families thrive. We live the best life possible. And we build wealth wisely through real estate. We're going to consider that 63% of older Canadians fear that they will not be able to retire comfortably.
Mm-hmm. That's a worrying stat, right? I'm concerned for people's well-being. And even if they can't retire comfortably, can they retire with money to support them through those years?
And
the
that's
years
the
they need
fear,
more
right?
Care, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And what we know, and why we talk about this all the time, we talk about this a lot, because 91% of millionaires built their wealth that sustained them in their retirement years, in part through real estate investing.
Yeah, many of our people come to us and they go, "Oh, can you help us?" They're 60, they're 65, they've retired. They go, "We only have our house. Can you help us get an investment property or something?" You're a little late because you don't have any income to support the mortgage to go buy an investment property, and they're not willing to, even leverage their house at 85, 80%, but the banks aren't willing to leverage it either because they have no income now. Other than maybe a small pension or whatever. So we're kind of handicapped unless you come to us a little bit earlier.
And 45% of people in their retirement years are relying on their principal residence to help them get through retirement. So and then you couple that with 18 to 34-year-olds, which is where it starts, right? 75% of them fear they'll never be able to own. So there's a real
that's
problem.
Yeah, there's a problem in the younger generation. And, we can speak to that a little bit at our wealth building seminar.
The Building Wealth Wisely workshop that is September 25th. And if you're 18, even 16, 20, 21, you get to come free with your family.
So drug them there,
well,
whatever, yes.
No, because if you're there against your will, you won't probably take it in anyway.
I know, but the teenager is going to learn something that's going to be miraculous. And, in 30, 40 years, they'll go, "Oh, I'm so glad I went to that workshop
when I was 17
25th.
years old."
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it really has.
We had gotten that. If you look at where is my passion for helping people build wealth wisely, it comes from my dad. And my dad, he didn't necessarily want to work all his life, but into age 71, he was still working because he had to. And the only reason he stopped working is he got deathly ill. And at 72, he passed away, left virtually nothing for his wife at the time. I think when the house was sold and everything was sold, it boiled down to $40,000.
And that was after we paid for all the burial costs, and we spent a fair bit of money.
Yeah,
so because
there was no cash, no insurance, nothing.
So if we actually looked at his net worth, if people hadn't come alongside, including us, she would have been sitting with basically nothing. After a lifetime of working hard. Your dad was not a slouch.
He was a hard worker.
Exactly.
He just didn't have the skills, the tools to know what to do with that money to get his money to work hard for him. And you and I were on the same path because guess where I learned my money skills and my spending skills from? Papa.
Right.
And we were on a path of destruction. Yeah, for sure. It almost came out, but you beat me to it.
Well, because I think it was destructive the way we were living. I mean, we had consolidated 3 times. We were living well beyond our means. We were buying things we had no business buying because we couldn't pay for them, had no hope of paying for them. We were using one credit card to pay off a different credit card. And then the credit card we just used to pay, well, not even pay off, pay a minimum balance. We would borrow from that one to pay off another one. So if you think you've been dysfunctional, I think we got you hands down.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe not. What we can tell you is it's a judgment-free zone because we've done most of it wrong.
And the other thing we've learned is that who can coach you and who can't coach you typically?
Well, your dad, we learned better principles long before your dad passed away. He was the impetus for us to step it up. And we had already been learning because we were in the industry already, and we'd had some great coaches and some great mentors and done some studious learning, had made a significant number of shifts in the way we were managing our money by the time he passed. And he couldn't hear any wisdom we shared with him.
No.
And because generally speaking, if you share DNA or you share a bed, it's very hard to take coaching or counsel from that person.
So we've, through the grace of God, we have turned our relationship around, turned our finances around. Our health is great. Our relationships are amazing with family and friends. And so we want to pay it back. We want to, why do we do what we do? Why do we do Life's Inside Track? Why do we talk to you about things that aren't just real estate?
Not the hardcore basic real estate. And that's because it's all connected.
Yeah.
And building wealth wisely through real estate is not an isolated decision.
Right.
It's a decision that's connected to every other area of your life.
So here's what we decided. We decided we're going to give you the 6 things that we're doing to really live it out.
And the first one is we model it. We live it out. And we don't get this thing perfect.
No, not even close.
And we do way better than we were because we have some models. We're following the principles that we believe are in the scriptures.
Right. And then we wrote the Wealth Formula, which is really a help tool. It's really two sections, getting out of debt and building wealth. It's an amazing book.
And then we have an online curriculum, 31 Life Step Journey, which brings infusion into and harmony into all the areas of your life, which means you can handle the money part better.
Yep. And then we help people build wealth wisely through real estate, through purchasing, selling wisely, knowing when to buy, when to sell, what to buy, investing, all of that good stuff.
And then there's Life's Inside Track, which you're listening to right now. And that Life's Inside Track is meant to bring it all together.
And then workshops. We have a workshop coming up on September 25th, which is a Building Wealth Wisely workshop, which really, that's a lot of W's. It's pretty cool. It's very, very impactful. And my question is, what does your retirement strategy look like? And is it on track? We're honored to be positioning you to build wealth wisely through real estate because it's about much more than just money.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward.